Hi, Warrior Goddess Garden. Carrie Starr here, and this is the place where we turn pain into growth, power, and beauty like a beloved garden. And today I want to talk to us about speaking out. I've had an interesting experience today. Got some sage out. I feel like cleaning myself off because I got to do a little speaking out myself and speaking out in ways that I don't normally. And what came of that and how it felt, and examining my my relationship with how it felt. So I'd love to talk about that because I think that it's really important, and I know that there are so many people who hold beliefs that they never ever speak of. And that's wonderful, because that's one of the beautiful things about being human is we don't have to share our beliefs. We can go through our life very quietly and live a beautiful, what I want to say, like instantly, like succulent, luscious life without anybody knowing about it. We can live in privacy. We can live very delicately and like water, we can do that. And then there are others of us that feel a real call on our heart to speak. And what that's like at times can be really challenging. It also feels like at times it can feel scary, and it can feel alienating, and it can feel confusing, and it can feel worrisome and emotionally charged. And I want to talk about it. I want to have a conversation about it, about speaking out anyway. Um, Even if your thoughts or views are not popular, or if your, thoughts or views are not what seems to be socially acceptable or mainstream. And I'm here as Warrior Goddess Garden. I'm here as Carrie Starr, to say, speak out anyway. And the reason why is because there are so many people watching who are rooting you on, and you are being their voice as well. And that's really important. It's really, really important. I have found throughout the day that I went through a myriad of emotions because I posted something that upset a lot of people, and they were very vocal about it. And looking at the relationship between myself and each one of those people, and like, how did that feel to have that kind of reaction from them? Many of them are people in my life, people that I care about, people that have held my hand when I'm scared, people that have hugged me and loved on me and given me tremendous support in all ways. People that I've known for years. And when I shared something from my heart, that was, somewhat, it wasn't middle of the road. It was something that I feel very passionately about. I feel passionate about freedom of speech, and examining how it was to get a myriad of reactions, mostly negative, on what I shared. And what I kept receiving all day as I pondered it and considered it, from, I always like, the Arcturian Council is just always with me. I've shared about this in other videos, and I will continue to share probably for the rest of my life about the Arcturian Council. But there is a group of 3 that I work with, and one of them is me, on a different timeline is the best way I can explain it. And if you have questions about that, you feel free to message me, or write in the comments and I'll comment back. And so the Arcturian Council is always just with me. And so I was saying to them today, like, this is so interesting because normally I really, really, really shy away from anything except healing, love, peacefulness, just harmony, forgiveness. Like, I'm always about that in my posts and my work, mostly. And today, something really frustrates me about freedom of speech. I don't like freedom of speech being shut down. I don't like it. I'm not okay with it, and I want to stand up for it. And what the council, what they just kept saying was, you speak anyway. Like, it doesn't matter what they all say. You're not speaking it to make friends. You're speaking it to have your voice heard. You're speaking it because you see it as the truth that you choose to believe. It is part of your path. Part of the path that you are here to speak on is freedom of speech. And when you know something powerful, speak on it, say it, because there are hundreds, if not thousands, of people watching that are thinking the same thing too. And they just may not have the guts or the wherewithal, or honestly, they don't have the gumption inside of them to then deal with the onslaught of what happens afterwards. And it was really fascinating, because normally if I start getting a bunch of negative comments, I usually just take the post down because I'm like, I don't want to participate in this whatsoever, because yikes. And it wasn't as if we were having like a thoughtful conversation or something like a passionate, loving conversation. It was more of like, you're brainwashed, or, any comment that I made, it was laughed at, or crickets. And that's okay. Like, that's okay. And it's a powerful place to be able to say what your truth is on your path. Even if it's not popular, it's okay to speak it, because there are so many people watching where it gives them encouragement. They're like, yes, someone is saying it. Yes, someone, yeah, like, I believe that too. You go. And it's funny because I've gotten several private messages saying, hey, that was pretty rough. Are you okay? Like, I'm sorry that happened. I hate seeing people act like that. And which was super sweet. But I really am okay. And what's interesting is I had the opportunity, today, to just be present with each one of those people in my mind and just let them know that I love them. Like, I may not understand where they're coming from, and I want to, and I do try to, but it's not my truth. It's not how I believe. And so I can graciously just hold them in my mind, and say, I love you. Like, I have no beef with you personally, and I send you love, and I want to clear this and harmonize the connection between us, instead of holding on to angst or anger or retaliation or fear that they won't like me, or, hatred, or worry that, oh my gosh, they're not going to be my friend anymore. It's like, no, you don't have to participate in any of that. It's okay to speak and have it not be received very well. Speak anyway. That's what the Arcturian Council keeps showing me tonight, as I'm just having some quiet time, and I was saging to just kind of get the energy off of me, like sending everything back to everyone else, anything that's hanging on me. And it's just okay. It's okay to speak anyway. It's powerful to speak the truth, and it saddens me to no end to see that people who are speaking powerful truths are being silenced. It breaks my heart. Um, and so use alternative technologies, as the council shared with us in an earlier transmission. Use alternative technologies. Speak anyway. Find ways to speak. And I encourage you to do it even if your voice shakes, even if it means you lose friends or acquaintances. That's okay. You'll make new ones. You'll make new friends and acquaintances. That's okay. When you are changing and evolving, not everyone can go with you on your journey, and that's okay. Like, that's the beauty of a journey, because as we walk down our path, we make new friends and we make new acquaintances, and you can hold a tremendous amount of love for people that have been in your life and who have walked with you thus far, and you can love them as you journey forward. You can love them as you leave them behind in your journey. I know it's easier to stay stuck in fear. I promise you, I know that. I know that so deeply. For the 7 years prior to 2020 that I was on Facebook, I only had about 200 friends on there. And that's all, 200, 250. That's all I wanted. It was only my friends, family, and coworkers that I enjoyed talking to. I never spoke out. I didn't make videos. I had no inclination whatsoever to speak or to, do anything of this sort that I'm participating in now, because I was scared, because I wanted people to like me. I was very invested in what people thought of me. I had attachments to their ideas of me. And as a former, quiet person who lived their life quietly, didn't, put things on social media, I know it can feel scary to do so. But if you're someone watching this who felt like you have something to say, you have a loving voice that you believe is supposed to be heard, I encourage you to step forward and do it, even if your voice shakes. And I would love you to tag me in your video or your posts, and I will support you. We need to be heard. We need to be heard, not just the angry and loudest ones, but the voices of love, voices of reason, and voices of differing opinions in the most loving way possible. And don't get me wrong, just because you are loving and passionate, and that doesn't mean you don't feel angry, or it doesn't mean you don't feel scared or worried or nervous. That's not what that means. It means you feel it, you transmute it, and you let it go, and you come back to love. So I encourage you to speak, unlock that voice. We're going to do this again. We're going to unlock that voice. We're going to allow anything that's holding you back in the throat chakra to be released and let go of. All voices are valid. All views shall be heard and seen. There is space and room for all of that, not just a select few. And I stand for the freedom of speech. And as the Arcturian Council says, speak up and speak anyway. Let the fear go. Let the fear go, beloved. We are in this together. You are not alone. And if you'd like support, feel free to reach out to me or comment on the video, and we can have a conversation. Soul love to you. Until next time.